I could connect my headphones, but it's
Oh,
not working out that way.
Are you doing AirPods or what? Or just regular headphones?
AirPods. Well, I don't have a iPhone, but
Go
Bluetooth.
to your go to your speaker settings and put AirPods on.
No, I'm talking about through the app. They're not allowing me to use headphones on the app.
okay.
No,
Don't
really?
worry about it then.
I,
Don't worry about it.
I got mine working. You have an
Yours is
Apple
plugged in
device?
directly to your laptop or to your phone.
No, it's Bluetooth. Either way, it goes to my laptop or my phone without a problem. You have to make sure. Do you have a Google
Yours is
device or do
plugged
you
in.
have an Apple device?
Oh, he's gone.
Right.
He'll be back. Right, we started the podcast. How are you anyway, Tom?
I'm
Welcome to the
doing
show.
well. Thank you so much. It's great to hear you. And Spencer's, hopefully he gets back. Oh, here he comes.
Yeah, I'm back,
Welcome,
but
Spencer.
Hey,
it's not
It's all
working.
right.
I don't know what's
We're
going
live now
on.
anyway, so don't worry.
well, you're coming
Welcome
through
to the
loud and
main
clear.
box talking. Right, who wants to start off with? Oh God, Jarrell Miller.
Did you watch the
My God.
fight?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it. Did y'all put the clip up?
I
Yeah,
put the whole fight.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
didn't
he
get a
looked
chance to see it. How did he look?
like he was not fully in shape the way he used to be. He was taking some punches from a guy who was slow that I didn't think he needed to take. But I guess he's just got to fight his way back into it. He's been off now, what? How many years? 3 years?
He was 340.
No, how many years has he been off?
Yeah, about 3 or 4.
24,
But I was saying his weight. He was 340 pounds. He's never been that big.
24
That is
stone.
huge. That is
And the guy
huge.
he fought was over 300 pounds too.
Well, his hands started to pick up by the third round, and he started scoring combinations, but he looked slow. And, he's going to have to fight his way back into shape. Now, going down to Argentina is probably a smart thing for him and, to fight himself back into shape. But that's a lot of weight to be pushing around,
I looked at him
Yeah,
and he
man,
looked,
340. I don't even think he ever fought at that weight. His
no,
last few times before that, he took those years hiatus. He was fighting at his heaviest weight, and that was 300 or close to
yeah.
it, if not 300.
Well, what
The
else did he have
problem,
to do when he was off but eat, right?
the problem
Yeah,
with him is that he's lazy. He's a lazy heavyweight, and now he stopped taking the drugs. Now we see he doesn't carry enough power. A man of his size should have more power.
Yeah, that's true. And, we've seen men of his size with power before. I
Yeah,
think, he's the fact that psychologically he felt he needed on PEDs, that's a psychological weakness for him. And
he's
so
a what's it called too by nature. Like he's naturally a kickboxer. They don't usually punch that hard,
that's true. His hands are fast and he could throw combinations.
right? But they
But
don't usually punch that hard.
right, he doesn't get his full body into it. He was for a while there, but he's out of shape for sure. And the fact that he blew his career, his big title shot against Joshua, that put Andy Ruiz there. And then look at Andy Ruiz, but Andy Ruiz knew how to box and fight. So,
Yeah, he at least got the payday first before he blew up in weight and.
but still, even though he blew up in weight, he can still box.
Yeah, he came back. He got a win after the loss from AJ. So, he's back in his winning ways. He's supposed to be fighting Ortiz. So,
Right. I think
but
that's
Miller
going to be
also there was another fight he was supposed to have. Like after the AJ stuff, he had signed with Bob Arum. He was going to fight on the top ranked card, and then he got caught with drugs then too. Forgot who he was going to fight, but
I don't know. All I know is that the guy has a problem if he thinks he needs to take all those PEDs to fight. And he's
well,
not.
he got caught. I don't think he's the only one. I think there's plenty of people out there that take them drugs. He just got caught with doing it. So
Yeah, but 3 times? Was it 3 times he got caught?
I think it was 2 times. I know he got caught leading up to the AJ fight, but the thing about the AJ fight, it was that he had so many different drugs in his system. It wasn't that he had one substance. I think he had 3 drugs in his system leading up to the AJ fight. And
Right.
again, the second one, I know he had a fight. He was about to be on a top ranked ESPN card. After that, I forgot who he was fighting, so it had to be one of like uh um a top ranked heavyweight or a Frank Warren heavyweight. But he was going to fight on one of their cards, and he blew
He
it.
blew it. He blew it again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
and it's
all I
so
got to
ironic
say about that.
that it's so ironic that the card theme last night was drug awareness. That was a drug awareness night, and that's so funny that he was the headliner on that card.
well, we're all aware of his drug awareness.
Yeah, he definitely made us all aware of drugs.
Yeah, really. Oh my God. What do you want to move on to, Nathan?
Let's have a look.
You want to talk about Jake Paul and Tommy Fury next?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Well, what do you think of it?
I think it's the same old, same old. I'll see it when I believe it when they get in the ring.
So it's on for August 6th. Who do you think will take it?
Well, I mean, Tommy Fury should take it.
Yeah.
But him being coming from the boxing family, but Jake Paul seems to be trying to take boxing seriously. So
I'll go for Jake Paul, to be honest. Just yeah.
Well, judging by how Floyd did against Jake Paul, I mean, the size difference was the big factor, but he was landing on him at will at one point.
Yeah, Tommy Fury should beat him up badly.
Do you know what an embarrassment it'd be to the Fury family if he loses?
Oh yeah, it'd be very embarrassing.
Now let me ask you this: I don't know. It's been going around on social media that Tyson Fury been banned from the U.S.
Yeah, it's true. I believe it's true.
And that's because of their connections to Daniel Kinahan. Is the whole family connected to them? So does that make all of the Furies not able to come to the U.S.?
No, just Tyson.
But what connection are they trying to make? The fact that he knows the guy?
Basically, this guy was his sort of like promoter, did a lot of dodgy dealings, and he was pushing a drugs ring and fronting it as a boxing business.
Yeah, but that ain't got nothing to do with Tyson.
It's guilty by association, I'm afraid.
I mean, hey, it's funny that America would be banning people because of that. Like, come on now, y'all.
Oh, there's so many drugs around.
The type of bedfellas that they lay with.
That's crazy. I don't understand why we would ban. He's not a convicted criminal.
Yeah, that's the craziness. Like his father, I think it's his father, got a crime. Like he got convicted of a crime, I think. Because I think it was he was barred. One of them was barred from going to Australia when Hughie Fury's going to fight Joseph Parker. He couldn't go because he couldn't travel there. They wasn't allowing people, just like what they was about to do with Haney's father. They wasn't allowing, people with records to go into the country. So,
well, he was also barred from the U.S. during the Deontay Wilder fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was convicted of manslaughter, I think. And he gouged some guy's eyes out in a fight one time. So, that's the reason why he's a convicted violent felon. So that's why they kept Mike Tyson out of England after his rape conviction, if you remember.
Yeah. Yeah, he couldn't travel a lot of places.
Well, I think it'd be a big embarrassment if he loses to Jake Paul or if he gets knocked out. Jake Paul does have a good shot, but Fury should be able to box him.
Yeah, I mean, and this ain't Huey and Tyson. Tommy is not Huey and Tyson. He's more of the celebrity one of the family, I believe. Didn't he go on something that was like The Bachelor?
I don't know. I didn't follow that.
Love Island or something?
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. He's a pretty boy.
Yeah, so There's that. He it's supposed to be at Madison Square Garden. That'd be a big deal if it is.
Oh yeah, or Vegas, one or the other.
Yeah, I think
Will be
Jake
a
was
big time.
talking about MSG though. We're gonna
Well,
try to
that
do
will
it at
be.
MSG.
People will go. People will go and support that fight. That's the good thing about the YouTubers is that they bring in people, and that's a good
Hmm.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul trying to be a serious promoter and all of that.
Right.
Oh,
What did you want to say, Nathan? In what?
Yeah.
In other
I was going
news?
to say he has he's trying to be a serious promoter,
In
put
the
the fight.
with the big news, Anthony Joshua Usyk.
They're on for August, right? They're on
On
for
the
August. I believe they're on for August. You put up on the site here. Well, that's good
also
news.
in August against Usyk in Saudi Arabia.
That's great. I'm looking forward to it. How do you feel about it?
Wait, say that again?
How do you guys feel about this? I think we talked about this last week about Usyk and Joshua, that it's confirmed now.
Yeah, but it's been
Yeah, they
confirmed.
said he blew up. He's the heaviest he is, so I
Who's the
wonder
heaviest?
if that
2 days.
is purposely done.
20.
Well, if he's heavier, that should be okay. If he uses it, if it doesn't gas him, if he makes him stronger and he can actually bully him around the ring, that'll work. If he
Yeah, and if
can't do that, he's going to lose again.
yeah. No, I'm talking about Usyk is heavy.
Well,
Yeah.
sure he is.
Usyk
I'm
bulked
sure.
up.
Well, he was over in the Ukraine for a while, wasn't he? With the whole Ukraine
Yeah.
war, and then he left.
Yeah.
And so I'm
Yeah.
sure. I hope that doesn't affect his performance.
I think it
mean,
will.
that's a lot.
I still think he'll win.
Well, he got enough time to stay focused. Like it's not what is it, in August?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got enough time to get his head straight and everything to make sure that he's focused on the task at hand.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. A lot of, like we talked about last time, the mental state of a fighter is so important.
Yeah.
Before they step in the ring, making sure mentally they're okay, not just the
Yeah,
training physically, but mentally.
you would want AJ should want to beat Usyk at his best self, not like a distracted or not at his best.
Yes, for sure. Definitely for sure. And so I think it'll be an interesting match either way. You're giving the edge to Usyk, Nathan. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What
So I
about
think
you?
he's in.
Out going off their last fight, I would give it to Usyk. I want to really see them in training camp, going into how their training camp is leading into the fight. If
Right.
Usyk is looking too heavy or too sluggish, then I'm gonna lean maybe that AJ got a better shot because Usyk
Right.
might be there for him to get hit. Because if it's a significant weight jump, right? He was 221 before when he fought him. That was a significant kind of a weight jump from the last time he went out there, but not that big. It was only like 10 or 12 pounds from when he fought Chisora. But if he's like a big weight jump, 10, 15, maybe 20 pounds, and he's looking sluggish, I don't know. AJ might be able to catch up to him.
Yeah, definitely there's got to be a change of strategy, but there's also something psychological when a fighter loses. Can he come back? And the same thing with Canelo and GGG. What that is going to be like? I mean, Canelo looked edgy. GGG looked relaxed in the zone confrontation. They do the press conference, and we'll see. Well, what about this fight with Ortiz and Ruiz? How do you guys look at that?
That's a strange one because Ruiz has quicker hands. But Ortiz, I mean, Ortiz is old, so he might be old. He might get old in the ring. We might see him extremely old in the ring. He got dropped last time against Charles Martin when he was
Right.
going against Charles Martin. So it's possible that Ruiz could, with his fast hands, might be able to drop him too. It's a strange one. It's a strange one.
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go
What
with
about you?
Ortiz.
Okay. What about you, Nathan? What do you who do you
I,
think is going to take this between Ortiz and Ruiz?
I'd say, or I think Ortiz is going to lose. I think, yeah, I can
Well, how
see.
do you think he's going to lose? Is he going to get KO'd? Is it going to be
I
decision? What
think
do you
it'll
think?
go to points.
Uh huh. All right. Well, I think if he could, I think Ortiz is going to come on strong early and try to drop Ruiz and bully him. But if it goes past four, I think Ruiz has a good shot of making him respect him,
Yeah,
and
we'll see what
push him
happens.
back.
Yeah, I could see if it goes the distance, I could see Ruiz winning it. Um,
It's a tough
but
one.
yeah, that's this is a good matchup. It's actually a good matchup. I wish
I
it might
think
have happened
so.
like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but it
Yeah,
is what it
really.
is.
Yeah. So, hey, let's talk about Clarissa and her
She
fight
signed
coming
to
up.
fight Savannah.
Oh, yeah. How do you see that?
I think Clarissa's the better boxer.
I think so too, and I think she's faster.
Yeah, and this thing about first, like this is crazy. I think I know she beat her in the amateurs and everything, but that was so long
That
ago.
doesn't mean
I
anything. That
think
doesn't mean anything.
I think Clarissa has seen Savannah before in the ring
Mm, mm-hmm,
numerous times.
mm-hmm.
Fight style, that is. I don't think Savannah has really messed with somebody that has Clarissa's skills. So
Well, I think she's got a size advantage, correct? She's bigger,
yeah,
and she has good stamina. But I don't. She's a little wide, and I think Clarissa's hand speed and straight punches are going to be the most effective in this.
she's going to get beat her to the punch. Like even if she don't drop her, which I hope she does, because that will make sure that just will like make sure that her work would get scored properly. Like, I don't. She don't have to stop her, but just to make sure that the points get scored properly. Cause if Savannah is wider or stronger looking punches, although Clarissa they're fighting in London. I mean, in the O2, so got to be careful for the judging. Hopefully, they won't side with Savannah Marshall.
Well, she's favorite over there, isn't she?
Savannah is the favorite.
No, she's favorite over there. They like her over there.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so, but so so you got to definitely watch that. If Clarissa is not a knockout person, and like to make if she drops her a few times, then that makes sure like it'll be hard for the judges to cheat her out of a decision.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I think so. And what do you think, Nathan?
About sorry, what were we talking about again? Jesus.
Shield versus Savannah Marshall.
I think I don't know. I'm going to go for Savannah Marshall an upset.
Why?
Seeing the size of her, she
Yeah,
she
she's
towers
bigger.
over Shields. She has. I don't think she's got the skill. I think she's got a lot stronger, and that will be the difference. I think she'll be a bit too big for it.
Uh, I give it 65-35 in favor of Shields. I think
Okay.
it I think it'll go that way. I think it'll go to a decision and she'll beat her because of
Yeah,
the volume and the speed of the punches.
yeah,
She's
because
just got to. Yeah.
I was gonna say like you said that if she could stay away from her, like not allowing Savannah to sit down on her punches and connect, then she should be all right. And she's more than capable of outboxing her for the 10 rounds.
I agree. I agree. Well, what do you guys think of this Morogion Akhmedov versus Ronnie Rios tomorrow?
Yeah, that's the other champ to Stephen Fulton, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's a good one, right?
Yeah, I'm. Do we give Rios a shot? I mean, he got a
Well,
shot.
he has a shot. I mean, he's a pro. He's lost 3 times, but it's going to be a good match. It's
Yeah,
for two
yeah,
title belts. You know, there are two
yeah,
title
yeah,
belts
yeah.
on the
I
line.
want hopefully, um, whoever wins will fight Fulton.
That would be great. That would be great. Yeah,
So that way that'll be undisputed.
yeah. Murojidan is a very strong puncher and slick.
Oh,
Well, you know, have you seen him? Have you followed him?
didn't he beat Roman?
I think he did, right?
He took Roman's belts. Yeah,
Yeah, he did. Well, it's going to be. I think that's going to be one to watch. What do we know what it's on? I can't see who has it.
I can't change my thing. I'm on the phone, so if I go to another
It's
thing,
not
I'm
on
gonna
the
be cut off.
Soren Visai. It's not Soren Visai, right? No, it's
No,
not
it's
that
not on
one.
the.
Soren Visai. No, it's not that one.
No,
That's going to
because
be a
they.
good one too.
Yeah, yeah, no, because that other title fight it was Aurora. Well, he ain't. I don't know if it was a title
Yeah,
fight, but
I could find it here. Where is it? June 25th.
that is this weekend.
I know.
That's on
So
the zone.
yeah, the
No,
zone. Yeah,
that is on the zone.
yeah. It's on that card with
It
Martinez
is.
and Arroyo, and with
It is on that.
Rodriguez.
Oh, okay. That's the chief
Yeah,
support. Okay,
right. Rodriguez versus Rogan Visai, right? It's
right.
an
Yeah,
interesting.
that's the chief support.
That's going to be a good
Um,
fight too. That feature.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
without question. That one should be good.
that's a good card, except for the fact that Julio Cesar Martinez dropped out for some kind of
Yeah,
illness.
he got ill at the last minute. Do y'all know? Do we know who is replacing him?
No, I haven't read anything on a replacement.
Yeah, when I looked at BoxRec not too long ago, it said TBA still. So
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen anything. What do you think of this matchup with Rodriguez and Rugged Visai, Nathan?
is he there?
Nathan, I don't know. Nathan, are you full? Did you disappear? Where are we? Nathan,
He's doing his rounds, maybe.
maybe I don't know. But you know, Rugged Visai is a tough customer. I think he's slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, I was
But
just about to say this might be like towards the end. You might be able to he might be able to get cracked right now.
well, he's been mainly fighting in Thailand. I've seen it the last couple of fights in Thailand. You know, and you know he's still punching and whatnot, but he hasn't been on the world stage as much as he should have been.
Yeah, because
Uh,
he's like after he's been fighting like he had a couple of like not even full fight type fights for somebody at his level. I think I seen on BoxRec he had a couple of like 8 round of fights in the past couple of years or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, right.
So
Uh, so
I mean, I'm
Rodriguez
not
is
sure. Does that help you by having to go and like that's a glorified sparring session maybe and still getting paid for it or something maybe? Because
yeah. What?
you would have to think 6 to 8 rounds. It's going to take a lot out of you if you're trying to go somewhere else. You want to save all your energy for those big fights and going to training for 6 to 8 rounder. You could wind up getting nagging injuries or something like that.
Hmm. Well,
Might
he's
not be the
30.
wisest choice, but these guys got to fight to make a living. So who knows how
That's
much
right.
they got, how
Well,
often they have to fight to
He's
pay the
35
bills.
years old. You know that had something to do with it. You know, to stay in shape for taking easy fights, right?
Yeah,
but Rodriguez is 22, so we'll see if Rodriguez is a fast sharpshooter as he can be. He's not the most powerful knockout puncher, but Rogan Visai is tough and he can punch, man.
Yeah, you
We'll
just
see.
hope. Yeah, I hope for a good fight. I don't want to see like this be the time when it's just like his last time he can't take.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but I think it'll be okay. But who knows? You never know when a guy gets old all of a sudden in the ring. And
Yeah, fight on the
they're
night on something, Pro Box TV. I don't even know what that is.
yeah, I saw there were weigh-ins for that fight, but I don't know what it's on. And it's not on the boxing scene, so I can't tell what's going on
Yeah,
um,
I didn't
with that.
see what it's on either.
Crazy.
What's
But
next?
let me get up to the list here. So let me pull this up again. I was looking at something for us to talk about here. We have, let's see.
You heard
We
about
have
Floyd and Conor going to talk again about fighting again?
that's up there too. Yeah. Why? That's silly. I guess they want the money. What is up
I
with
mean, yeah,
Floyd,
I don't
man?
think it's going to do anywhere as well as the first one, but
No, he knocked them out. I mean, he took them to
yeah,
the
yeah,
well.
the allure is gone, and Conor kind of lost since then.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, Floyd. Uh, who would be better for Floyd to face at this point in an exhibition? I mean, the first one against the Japanese guy after he fought Connor, that was kind of like ridiculous, right? And
Yeah,
then he had the thing with
the only thing I could see him doing will be doing something like a true crossover fight and get one of these like mixed martial arts. I mean, not a mixed martial arts. I want to clarify. Get a martial artist and do a mixed martial art type of fight where he goes and boxes where they use their karate or something like that. Like that
right.
maybe. But there's nobody that famous. I mean, he could throw anybody up there and be like the Japanese karate champ against because he did that with the kickboxer. The guy that was a
Well,
kickboxer.
what do you think about him and Pacquiao doing an exhibition?
That'd be interesting.
That would be
Yeah,
that would make a lot of money actually.
yeah,
I
that
think
one
that.
would be more than a Conor rematch, I think.
And Pacquiao would have more time to train now because he lost the presidential election.
So yeah,
that consumed them. But it looks like there is some movement now with Parker and Joyce is now being possible
oh
between the
really?
two. Yeah, there's an article here that it's possible that came out today. What's today's date actually? The 24th, right? If they're trying to get the promoters to come together now, even though they have two separate promoters now on this
It's going to
thing, and
be hard because besides the two different promoters, they on two different networks in the
yeah, but
UK.
that's true. But it looks like there is some movement. If these guys really want it, they'll get those promoters together to make it happen.
You would hope so, but realistically speaking, right? If they on two different networks, I don't know how invested BT is in Joe Joyce. I know Tyson Fury is their main guy, but Tyson
Hmm.
Fury isn't fighting anymore. So now who's their main guy? Well,
I don't know.
Daniel Dubois just won, so he's highly
Yeah,
like he's a seller, he's marketable. And then there's Joe Joyce. So,
Right. Yeah. Well, Ben
but Joe
Shalom, the
Joyce, I'm
promote.
not sure how popular he is in the UK. I can't really speak on that, but is
semi popular.
is it popular? Is he popular enough that they could cross promote a BT Sky Sports thing for him versus Parker?
Yeah, I'd say he'd be well known enough for that. And now he's a world champion. It will have more appeal.
Well, in terms of like Ben Shalom, the promoter for Parker, he put in an offer for the fight, with Joyce, and so we'll see if they actually agree on anything. Ben Parker's reaching out with a says here with a proposal. So I don't know. We'll see. They said they put in a big offer that Parker wants, and we'll see. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully that'll work. I wouldn't mind. I wanted to see that fight, Parker versus Joyce.
Everybody did. I mean, what the hell, right?
Right.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly, because Joe Joyce punches hard, but Parker could take a punch. So
Parker's crafty.
He's not going to be easily dispatched.
No, he won't be easily dispatched. That's for sure. And the good thing is that these guys look. They gotta clear the plate here. They gotta fight each other. It's getting to the point where they have to do it.
Yeah, like since Usyk and A tied up until August, and you figure they're not going to fight nobody for 3-4 months after that. So basically, this year is out for either one of those title shots. They might as well go. These other guys might as well set it up. Wilder talk about he coming back, but I don't know who would be in the immediate future for him to fight. Maybe Charles Martin lost his last fight, and he can't wait around for the Ruiz Ortiz winner. Because if it's Ortiz, nobody want to see Wilder Ortiz 3.
Well, that's doubtful whether or not Wilder will come back or not.
Yeah, but I mean, there was a news story today that I think he was on social media today saying that he's coming back. The fans want him back, so he's not going to let the fans down. Setting up a big fight soon. So, but he's been saying that for a minute.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. It's hard
to say. Maybe Hellenius. Could see because Hellenius is with PBC.
That would be a good fight for him because Hellenius is slow and he would catch those. He would catch those right hands on the chin.
Right, that'd be a big, exciting comeback fight. The highlight reel. Wilder's back, and then
yeah,
and then maybe, if he could get Hellenius. Then maybe if AJ loses, but not loses where he gets knocked out or something, then they could try to get a Wilder versus AJ fight.
Anything's possible, but what's going to make bank right now, and what is the goal at this point, too?
Yeah, well, it would be. You would think that if AJ loses to Usyk, there's always Usyk he could go after and try to get 3 belts, but
right.
But you would think he wants money, probably memorable or legacy fights or fights that's gonna be talked about from years down the line. I would think a Wilder versus AJ fight might be an exciting fight.
Mm-hmm.
Parker versus Wilder.
Yep.
Joe Joyce versus Wilder would be an exciting fight.
That would be. I think the power punching, if Wilder's in shape and he's landing his right hand, he'll disconnect him from his legs.
Yeah, no, all of those guys can get hit because we've seen them get hit before. The ones that I just mentioned, the Parker,
right.
Joe Joyce.
Well,
he should go out to Dubois.
Here's the deal, I think, when you look at the damage both of those guys did to each other, Fury and Wilder, they both wanted to retire now, right?
Yeah.
They're both on the ropes. Fury said for him
you make
to come
$40 million in your last 2 fights each. Yeah, them $60-70 million might make you be like, you know what, I'm good. I don't want to have to get punched no more.
It would make me feel that way. What about
I took enough punches to my face.
Yeah, that's enough.
But again, if you set him up with an easy win like Hellenius, somebody that's not really going to bother him too much to get a good quick victory, to put his name back out there to get like his one last fight before retirement. Because I still think AJ versus Wilder fight is still a big fight.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and if he goes to the UK, they go there to fight him. Then it's definitely a big fight. It's a big fight here, but it's a big fight there.
Yeah. Hey, getting off the subject here, what is this all about? This guy you sent about who's under investigation over in England for a meth lab and a motorcycle gang.
Oh God knows! I
Nathan.
don't know why I even sent it. I guess we can just ignore it. I don't even know why I
That-
sent it. Stupid.
It was pretty
Who's that?
crazy. Yeah,
do with
tell him
David-
who it is.
To do with David Cambosa or something, isn't it? His coach or something.
Oh, over in Australia, yeah. Jim Cambosis, right?
Yeah, the dad.
Yeah, he's a managed boxer over there who's in a motorcycle gang in there. He's indicted on Terry Nicholas, who was on the undercard of the Cambosis Haney fight, and I think he had a draw. He is been indicted in a meth lab and motorcycle gang over there in Australia, and that's it for him. You know, that's that. And he was a member of Cambosis's team. Oh God! I mean, some people just don't learn to drop those connections.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
we don't know how much money he was making. He probably couldn't afford to drop the connections yet.
I understand that. I mean, I understand that. Nathan. Nathan,
Yeah.
what are you excited about? Right now in boxing, what's exciting you in terms of a matchup?
God, the Peterviev unification fight is what I'm interested in.
With Bivol?
Yeah, and also Triple G against Canelo.
When I
Yeah.
watched today, Canelo looked so much. I mean, Triple G just looks so much bigger than Canelo. Weight wise and body wise. I think it's going to be good for Canelo. I think it's not going to be good for Canelo.
He needs to knock Triple G out this time. He needs to do a job on him,
Well, I think vice versa. I think, and I think GGG looks so calm and relaxed, and Canelo looks like he's tweaking right now. The look on his face at the beginning of the press conference, he looked like he wasn't, since the Bivol fight, he looks a little unhinged. He didn't have that like laid back, I'm the greatest and I'm the pretty boy. He was like, his eyes were kind of crossing and he immediately attacked GGG. This guy talks shit and he's an asshole and this and that. And GGG is like, I don't know why he says that. We shook hands after the last fight. And GGG never said anything after the last fight. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen GGG in some interviews popping crap about Canelo after the second fight. I mean, it wasn't like at the press conference. I mean, at the post fight, but
you mean about the drug? About him being
about the drugs? Yeah, that was one. There was something else I think I seen him say, but and then like he had Abel Sanchez as his trainer for all of those years. And when he had Abel in there, he was just the big Mexican style fighter, big drama show. And then he got the Canelo fights. He dropped Abel. He said, I'm not speaking English anymore. Need a translator at my show. He's like, he totally went a totally different direction than he was before. But hey,
is he blaming his translator for all the comments?
No, I'm just saying, like this whole, like he was talking in English before when they would interview him at the post fight. Now he's like, hey, what did he say?
I'm not working that hard anymore.
Yeah, like y'all ain't paying me enough. This ain't HBO.
I'm not working that hard anymore. No.
Yeah.
But Canelo looked tweaked. He looked like, I think the loss to Bivol really messed with his head.
He could have, and it might. I don't know. Maybe He would have to go to 175, and he has to drop down to 168, or is this for the 168, or are they lower than that?
It's for 168, all the belts.
But okay, so 168. So okay, yeah,
Well, I think Canelo should win a decision this time, but you never know. GGG still has a lot of punch. He could hurt him. He hurt
yeah.
him in
But if
both fights before.
GGG packing on the pounds, is that gonna slow him down? He trying to hurt Canelo real hard, so will that slow him down and damage him, or allow Canelo to counter punch him all night? Because Canelo is a good counter puncher. He ain't short against Bivol, but he's a good counter puncher.
Well, I think it's obvious Canelo is just getting over his peak right now. He's got a lot more speed, and he's conditioned at 168, and that plus he's got to drop the weight. But I don't think that's going to be a big deal for him. I don't think it's going to be a big. I don't think weight is going to be a factor for either one. I think the age and reflexes are going to be a factor. I think
Yeah.
that's it. I think that's going to be the big thing. And also, Canelo's been more active than GGG, so
Yes.
we'll see.
And versus better competition.
True, better competition. And GGG has been winning decisions, close decisions prior up to the Japanese fight.
Right. Well, he stopped Rolls. He stopped Rolls, I think. Was it Rolls?
Yeah, he did. But he had a hard fight against his fellow Russian middleweight. That was a tough
Yeah,
fight.
Devinchenko.
That was rough. So we'll see. We'll see. I think that's going to be the big factor: is reflexes and age at this point. I don't think he's lost his power. He still throws a super hard jab, and but he's going to take shots. He keeps his head on the line.
Yeah,
and,
that's what I was saying. Like with Canelo's counter punching abilities, if he's trying to swing for the fences to try to stop Canelo or whatever, to make sure that he gets the victory this time, that might be detrimental to him, because as you said, Canelo's a little bit faster. He's there to get hit sometimes. So Canelo could hit him a couple times. He lost a few steps, a step or two maybe. He's a step or two slower than he used to be. He'll be fighting at a heavier weight than he's used to fighting at. So
yeah, I know how Nathan feels against this. He thinks GGG is going to get beat up. Right, Nathan?
Yeah, I just think he's too old now. We need to be honest about it.
Yeah, I think that'll be. I think it'll be a good fight for the first round. I think Canelo's going to come out fast and go after him like he did in the first fight.
Yeah,
but he's going to eat some jabs. We'll see how it goes. So the other fight you're excited about, Nathan, is what was the other one?
Oh, I can't remember.
He said Bivol and Beterbiev.
Oh, and Beterbiev.
Yeah,
well, they got to get through their mandatory. He's got to get through his mandatory first, right? Well, okay. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that one. That one would be a nice one.
Right. Well, Beterbiev with Joe Smith. I mean, I thought Joe would last a little longer, but you could see in the first round when he felt the power, he started backing up. And you could see the mental switch go off.
Yo, he dropped him. Joe Smith turned and was like, "Where the hell am I? What the hell did I just do?"
They called that first knockdown a slip. I didn't think it was a slip. The first knockdown. Did you notice that?
Huh?
I didn't think that first time he went down, they called it a slip.
No, it really wasn't. But he was lucky. He was like, "Okay, wait."
Yeah. And he was saying
he bit off more than he could chew. He didn't realize how good Beterbiev was. He'd never been hit like that by anyone before. So,
and to be fair, this is to be fair. Beterbiev doesn't usually start quick. It usually takes him a few rounds before he starts to get into his groove. A lot of people was mentioning that before. You got to start quicker than he is, because once it takes him a few rounds before he's actually getting into a groove. but he got into his groove in the first round, and he has said it. He was like he respected Joe Smith's power. He wasn't going to play around. He
No,
wasn't going
no.
to see what he could do. He's like, I'm going straight at him so we could end this quick.
Right. Well, you saw he was on his bicycle, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right, I can't knock Joseph. He took the fight. He did what he had to do. He can come back again. You know, he hasn't even reached his prime yet.
Yeah, I mean, you know, somebody got to lose a fight, and just because you lose a fight, it's not you know, like it's not even a thing of knocking the person, because of course you shouldn't knock the loser. They
Whenever he's
fought.
lost, he's always come back better. To be fair to Smith, hasn't he? He's always come back
Yeah,
better.
Yeah.
but Turbiev made him look like an amateur.
He
Yeah,
did.
but
We
Turbiev,
know how good Joe Smith is. It's just this guy was just that bit better, you know.
when
was
he's
much-
lost before, he's lost. Who he lost to? He lost to Bivol in a demolition.
He lost to the
but
Cuban fighter.
Sullivan Barrera.
Yeah, he lost to him.
But
his
those
last
is both
fight-
distance rounds. Those is both distance fights.
And I thought he lost his last fight. We talked about that.
Yeah. He lost that fight.
I do
He just-
believe that I'm not sure he wins a bout ever again. If a vacant bout comes up, he may win one, you know.
I think.
I mean, you know, he could get a homecoming, even though that was at
I
Madison
also
Square.
believe he can't make the weight anymore. I believe he's struggling to make the weight now. I think he should move up to cruiserweight. Then his power
Who?
will
Joe
go
Smith?
up.
Yeah, Joe Smith.
He'll be better off going at cruiserweight.
Yeah, I think if he fought like what's his name, the Crusher.
Yeah, look,
That would be a big
it's like when Tony Bellew couldn't make the weight anymore. He's a better fighter than what Tony Bellew ever was, in my opinion.
But what's it called? He's at cruiserweight too, though. He would have to jump up to cruiserweight to fight him, Crusher.
Yeah, but again, he'll be
Joe Smith
outboxed.
Jr. and Kovalev.
Yeah, Kovalev will outbox him and probably.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Kovalev's last fight against Pulev's brother, and he can just box people now, and he'd probably beat Joe Smith. But I still think Joe would catch him with something big.
Well, I don't. I think Joe Smith. I mean, he just went. You see, when you could see the mindset where he put his hands around his ears, crouched down, and started to throw these wild overhand rights, hoping to catch Viterbia.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
That wasn't gonna work.
No, because he got uppercut. He got uppercut.
And listen, this is funny. They did how they talk about the fighters before the fight. You know, they did a little like expose of both of the people. Now, I didn't realize Joe Smith's story the way it was. Like, you know, his trainer was a Golden Gloves guy in New York, won the Golden Gloves, and then it was like 50 years to the day. I think he said it was 50 years or something like that, to the day when
he got injured and he couldn't fight anymore.
Right, and then he saw Joe Smith, and he basically, I'm gonna sum it up. What I got out of the story is that the trainer wanted more from boxing out of boxing with Joe Smith than Joe Smith wanted out of it from himself.
Right.
Now, when he started getting good, he started taking it a little bit more seriously. But there was always that that's not my first love, you know, that type of thing. So maybe that might be the case now with him. Like, I've reached the top that I could possibly reach. I was a light heavyweight champ. You know, no one could ever take that away from me. I made a few millions. I knocked out Bernard Hopkins out of the ring, retired him. You know, like, so.
The story doesn't end that way. He's only 32 years of age. He will be back. He'll probably win another belt against another vacant belt somewhere down the line. You know, it's not over.
He ain't beating nobody at light heavyweight no more.
No
way.
No way.
Beat Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard's the mandatory challenge.
Okay, Anthony Yard about to die.
If he gets destroyed,
If he gets in the ring with
Anthony Yard has no chin. He has no stamina. He lost to a domestic level fighter. And then when he won, everyone said he was world class. He's never been world class. He's just
that's what I'm saying. They're like one. that one good round against Kovalev in Russia is not gonna make him the world title fighter.
Well, I don't think he ever will win a world. You know what? He's pretty fortunate to be getting in to be a mandatory again. He beat he seems to be getting chance after chance. This guy, and he hasn't got the talent to back it up. I'm afraid.
If he was smart, he would take that step aside money, let them do the undisputed, and then fight the winner.
Yeah. Do you know how much money he got from the Kovalev fight? He got about £2 million. You know.
Okay, that ain't bad.
£2 million. That's about $4 million.
Something like $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
That's good money. I'll take it. I'll fight him for it.
I think you should take the step aside. If there was step aside money and a belt vacant, you can get bet your luck that Frank Warren will get a soft touch for him to beat for the title. That's what they all do.
Well, I don't think Anthony Yarde has any business in the ring with Beterbiev or Bivol.
I don't think
they should have a Yarde versus Buatsi fight.
Yeah, that would be good. What was that, Nathan?
I don't think he has any business fighting for a world title anyway. He's got nowhere near the talent level.
You think Buatsi's going to fight Callum Smith? Ain't they both under Eddie?
Callum Johnson, you mean?
Callum Smith is at light heavyweight.
Yeah, but he won't fight him. He'll fight Callum Johnson. That's the fight they want to make. Callum Smith is better than Buatsi at the minute.
Yeah, he's too slick for him.
Yeah, too powerful as well.
They need to fight. Aren't they both under Eddie?
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, it might not be next because, Buatsi need to get a win. And I don't think he could beat Callum Smith. Especially not after that last fight I've seen him fight.
I agree.
Yeah, both of them dudes. Man, now that you're mentioning it, Buatsi, his last fight looked like crap too.
Yeah, but he would still beat Yarde. I'd still put money on him beating Yarde.
Yeah, they're not gonna fight. Maybe probably when they're not contenders no more.
The problem with Yarde is his last couple of wins, or his last win was against the guy. They always feed Anthony Yarde soft touches. Then he gets a title shot magically.
Yeah, well, that's how that works.
Right.
Especially if you're taking the WBO route, you get a couple of guys that got good-looking records, but they're not really that good.
Back in the day, the WBO belt was the easy world title to get, wasn't it?
It still is. Back in the day.
Manny Pacquiao, didn't he start with the WBO belt?
No, he started with the IBF.
Yeah, I think in his lower weights, he was an IBF or something like that first.
Yeah. But when he fought, in the United States, he won the WBO belt first, I thought.
Yeah. When he was with Bob Arum and started to actually move through the weight classes, it was WBOs mainly.
All right. Well, he certainly didn't really duck anybody. So
he only won one WBC belt, no, two WBC belts in his career, I think.
Well, that was from what's his name, the guy who's an announcer now. I forget.
Who was it?
No, not Sean Porter. He never fought Sean Porter, did he? No, I don't think he.
No.
I see his face, but I don't remember his name. He fought 3 fights with him. He beat him.
Barrera?
No,
Morales.
No, he's an African American guy.
Bradley.
Real tough. Bradley. Yeah. Tough customer Bradley was, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, Bradley, it's just weird. Bradley fought a fight that he was not always suited to fight. Like sometimes you would see Bradley try to get into brawls, and it's like you're not a strong guy. So you look like sometimes you're not getting the better part of the exchanges.
Oh, yeah. Provodnikov concussed him, remember?
Provodnikov, remember towards the end of the fight, I think it was Vargas. Was it Vargas? It was somebody that was towards the end of the fight that I think they had the bell ring early, but they had hurt him a little bit. He got hurt in the fight.
Yep.
Yeah. And but they was trying to go at it. The ref thought the bell rung, but it didn't ring. and the guy that had hurt Tim.
Right, but I think the one that hurt him the most was that
Oh,
Provodnikov fight.
yeah, that did homeboy damage too.
Yeah, well, the thing about that is he didn't have to fight that fight that way.
That's the fight that I was when I was saying what I was saying about Bradley. That one more specifically, I was thinking of, but I've seen him do it a couple of more times like after that. But yeah, he's like you could have outboxed Provodnikov.
Yeah, he didn't have. Yeah, and that fight could have been stopped. I mean, he was beaten really bad at one point.
Early, yeah, that was
Well, his wife
was
made him
something
retire, and I think that was a good thing. I think his father was living his life through him too.
And
I think
I was online, right? And I was talking about we was discussing Darnell Boone and Emmanuel Augustus.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And it was like, you know how those guys, their career, they went in the ring against everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They fought everybody. And they fought some guys tough fights. Like in the case of Darnell Boone, he had fought Ward Kovalev and Adonis Stevenson. He had stopped Adonis, dropped Ward and Kovalev, and he didn't beat Ward or Kovalev, but he dropped Ward and Kovalev. He should have beat Kovalev in the first fight, and then Kovalev won in the rematch.
Well, he was a strong puncher, and he definitely was around for a long time. He had a lot of fights, and he was always tough. But what do they call him? The traveling man?
Yeah, something like that.
Floyd said that was his toughest fight.
Emmanuel Augustus, yeah.
Yeah, he was something. He went after Floyd. He was like coming after him constantly and scoring.
Wait, no, wait, wasn't he the drunken monkey or something?
Yeah.
Because he used to fight with that, like, playing around, looking like he playing around.
Yeah, but he was good at it.
Yes, he was.
He was very big in the 90s?
Yep. Yeah.
And what Roger was saying, Roger really liked him a lot. Yeah, Roger Mayweather.
Yeah, Floyd for a while had said that was his toughest fight.
Right, and they were trying to say that what's his name from Brooklyn?
Sad.
The Southpaw. Yeah, that was also a pretty tough one.
Right, guys, I've got to shoot off now.
All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all next week.
So before we go, Sam Eglinton's fighting for the IBO title tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think it's on the Zone.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that one. How do you feel about that one, Nathan?
I don't know. I've looked at the guy's record. He hasn't fought anybody. He's fought guys who won lost 11, won 5 sort of records. But he's opposed. You could never be too sure with some of these guys,
Well, Eddington is a solid fighter.
Yeah, but this guy, you don't know what you're going to get with some of these European fighters,
Yeah, I'm going with eggs.
Me too.
On point.
Let's go there. Well, you guys have a great weekend, and it's great talking to you.
All right, same to you guys, man.
We'll be back next week.
All right,
next time.
Stay on the line, Tom.
All right. Hey.
How you doing anyway?
Good. Did you stop the show?
Let me just end the broadcast.